So,
hmm
first of all, Robert, congratulations on 5 years at Point of Rental.
Woohoo!
Most people did something before they got here. So, can you give me like a 1 minute rundown of what you were doing before you got to Point of Rental and how it's helped you here?
Yeah, I mean, work-wise, I had two jobs before this one. First one, I started off as an apprentice in a massive financial services company. Um, yeah, and I actually started off doing systems analysis rather than development. But then I saw an opportunity to jump into development, so I did that. That was mostly front-end work, but there was some back-end CMS work with Adobe Experience Manager, if anybody's heard of that, big CMS agency who sold flights. A little bit like, I don't know, if you guys don't have Expedia or something like that. But yeah, working on their website. However, yeah, that was mostly front end. They had a very, very outdated and messy code base. They did. But yeah, it was interesting because I had sort of large company and then small company experience, so it sort of helps you see both ends of the spectrum.
Awesome. I sort of want to know a little bit about why you went from systems analysis to development.
Well, it's interesting because I think when I actually first started as an apprentice, there was a bit of confusion as to what I wanted to do. Well, they got a bit of confusion, the company did. They thought I wanted to do sort of systems analysis, SQL queries, writing reports, and that sort of thing. But actually, I always wanted to do development. And it just so happened that one of the other apprentices kind of moved and found another job who was in the development part. And that was what I originally wanted to do. So I then said, look, can I go and take his place on that team? And then that kind of went from there. So.
Awesome. Okay, so you had those two jobs before us, but how did you hear about Point of Rental and what did you come here to do initially?
So I found Point of Rental. It was through a job site. So when I was at the travel agency, which was the last job before this, unfortunately, the pandemic completely destroyed the travel industry. And being a website that just sold flights, a lot of us were laid off,
Yeah.
um, and furloughed and so on. So yeah, then I found this on a job site. I think it was Indeed, and yeah, just kind of wanted to take on a new challenge, grow my skill set, get experience. To be honest, I liked the look of Angular. I saw that this job required or used Angular, and I was always interested in trying out different front end frameworks. I mean, I was using React before, and Angular was something that I wanted to go towards as being a bit more structured and a bit more mature in terms of its development. So
Yeah, those are two words that I've heard related to coding. Still not sure quite exactly the difference between React and Angular, but they sound interesting. All right, so what are you doing now? How has it changed over the past 5 years?
yeah, good question. And ironically, very little Angular these days. But yeah, a whole host of other things, technologies, responsibilities. I've been working on the app installer, which we use to deploy Series 365 as well as all of the other accompanying apps and things that we have. So using Wix framework, that's been interesting. Yeah, Windows installer has many, many intricacies, so that's been fun to try and get under the skin of Windows installer. But yeah, nowadays I think especially being senior now, it's a lot of my time is spent doing other things, planning, mentoring, reviewing code, fixing issues, completing tech debt, facilitating releases and all that sort of stuff. So
What do you like about working here? I assume you like it here since you've been here 5 years and you haven't left.
yeah, yeah, I mean, if you didn't like a job, 5 years would be a long time to stick around. Yeah, it's just a balance between sort of like the work and the social, I guess. I think it is a good balance, especially, I mean, I can only really speak about my team because, yeah, my team is really good and fosters a lot of collaborative and supportive culture and it has a good sense of community. I mean, I've learned a lot since being here. Yeah, in terms of the social, you sort of got hackathons. Hackathons are really good. I mean, they're company wide. I mean, in the UK, we have our summer and winter parties. Our team does a lot of social things. We have a regular kind of hero quest, which is kind of like a board game. We have, every few weeks we get together and do that. We've even been to watch the football. Our local team, where the office is, Reading.
Yeah.
We've seen them a couple of times. So yeah, the work's good. Social's good. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I always ask new people for something that's non-work related about them. So what's something that you're interested in that isn't necessarily related to your job? Any hobbies or interests?
Yeah, I mean, what I do outside of work, outside of sort of spending time with family, usually revolves around sort of traveling to football games. So I don't support the local team, Reading. I support another team called Crawley Town. Obviously, that's English football. Um, yeah, other than that, going to music gigs. I mean, this is a t-shirt from one of the bands I saw quite recently. I like a bit of clay pigeon shooting as well. quite unusual for somebody from the UK to actually do shooting. Yeah, video gaming as well. I'm quite an avid PC gamer. So
What type of music is Pendulum?
Pendulum is kind of a crossover between sort of drum and bass and a bit of rock metal. I mean, there's some collaboration there. Some of the tracks. It's a bit of an interesting one.
All right.
Yeah, very unique.
All right, I'll check them out after this interview. Let's pretending that you're talking to a new pointer as a wise, learned pointer of 5 years now. What's some advice you'd give them?
A wise, learned pointer. I'd probably just say embrace the learning curve and also be patient. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day. I know it's a cliche, but so many people join and they want to just be able to do everything at once and know, but that's not the case. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Like, incorrect assumptions often lead to rework, so sometimes better to ask questions and get things right. But, it's not a pride thing. Some people don't want to ask questions because they're proud. Forget that. If you need to ask a question, ask it. And I'd also say use AI, embrace AI. I mean, I know the company is kind of the mantra at the moment is use AI and implement AI too. I mean, it is the future. It's already revolutionized what we do, so especially in software development, but it's applicable to everyone and everywhere. So
For sure. Okay, now let's pretend this is what's your biggest awards show in the UK? I got to stop using the Oscars.
Maybe the BAFTA's pretty big.
Okay, I was going to say I've heard of BAFTAs. I just don't remember where things are from. But
Yeah.
All right, let's pretend this is the BAFTAs or some other awards show, and you can thank some people, pointers or not, that have helped you get to where you are today. Who are you thanking?
Well, I'd like to shout out to Gemini, Cursor, ChatGPT. No, I'm joking. Or am I? No, I think it's I don't think it's any individual specifically. I mean, the whole team, that I work on has empowered me to get to where I am and helped me get to where I am. I'll probably take a particular shout out to the team lead Michael and probably the team manager Kieran as well. So
Always a good idea to thank those people.
it's the smart career move, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you again. Congratulations on 5 years here at Point of Rental, and I'll talk to you in another 5.
Awesome. Cheers. Thanks for that.